Hey everybody, it's Lee Tessier, and welcome to Hollywood Squares, or the Brady Bunch. One of the two, right? It's like, all right, this one's here, that one's there, So we got all six of us on here today. Right, brother from another mother. So thanks for spending the time Friday afternoon with us before happy hour and all those good things. So I wanted to just get us all together and talk about like our backgrounds more than anything else. But you heard, if you've been watching over the last couple of weeks, about more of why we are doing EXP and so forth, but and what's driven us there. But what, like, who are we? What's our background? So I'm going to start from my top left, and I'm going to start with John. So John, give us a little bit of background of like who you are, like how you got to where you are, and then your journey from this last year of the amazing weight loss of 110 pounds.
Yeah.
Something to be super proud of.
Yeah, it is. I like having my clothes fit again, but I didn't throw away. I was determined not to throw them away. But I started this 13 years ago. I had owned some investment properties and decided to get my license after I sold my house myself, and ended up costing myself thousands of dollars because I had no idea what I was doing. And I took it as a challenge, got my license, and I was planning on just doing a few deals a year for friends and family. But then my competitive nature took over, and I'd see Rob Commodore signs in yards, and I'd say, why is his sign there and not mine? Or Jim Stevens or Lee Tessier, like, why are those signs there and not mine? And it led to me kind of growing this out part-time as I worked a full-time job, and then switched over to full-time after I closed 60 deals working this as a part-time job with my full-time IT job. And came over here, went full-time, started a team, which was just me. I was the team, and at my old brokerage. And then over the last year, it's definitely been a year of change for me. And this kind of came out of nowhere, talking to Greg Cullison first, who made the move over from my old brokerage, and then getting on the phone with Lee and Shelly and seeing what the opportunity was here for me and my team and my family and my friends and my clients, most importantly. So from part-time to full-time to whatever time this is.
So it's the journey of like I think of the iceberg, right? Everybody sees above the waterline, and not all the work that goes below, all the water, everything under the waterline. So like, going back to weight loss, to growing your team, to family, all of it's work.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I work 6 to 2 at my full-time job, and then work 3 to 8 showing houses all night. And it was a grind, but doing the work pays off. Doing the work and following the processes.
Hey John, just so you know, right now is go time. Just so you know.
Go time. Okay. Go time.
Yeah.
Wait, now you got all the extra energy. You're carrying less than 100 pounds less, so now you got to have a ton of extra energy.
My daughter weighs 107 pounds, so I lost a daughter.
Wow.
In some way. So it's been a fun journey. Now I'm excited to be with this group of people and see where the journey takes us next.
John, it's funny because I've been friends with your wife on Facebook, and I love like her journey too. Like, it's such a family. Everything is a family. She lost a lot of weight as well with you. And I'm watching her post. She's trying to help other people, which I think is awesome. And I know that like this whole real estate thing is a family thing. A lot of times, like, we're the face of it, but there's usually quite a few great people behind us making it happen along and being supportive, because it's not an easy industry when you get started.
No, I know. We all, our families are part of it. I know Rob and Chris. Everybody, everybody's family's part of it. My son, I really pictured my son at 3 years old putting up my rider signs for me. My wife helps run some of the events, stuff like that. So everybody's all in. I think in any real estate family. Yeah.
Great. Exactly. So and I forgot to start this out with thanking Shelly for just being consistent and persistent and keeping to call me, because otherwise we wouldn't have put this all together. So thank you so much, Shelly, for your consistency of who you are and really caring. Because you kept saying to me, is like, look, I care about you. You need to see this. Take a look. And of course, I wasn't open to it in the beginning. And as we go through that saying, when the student's ready, the teacher shows up. So the teacher showed up. So thank you. So and I think everyone here, really appreciates that as well. So
for sure.
Well, I think that when we talked personally, it was kind of. I think it was hard for you to believe that something could be so amazing and real. And then when you looked at it deeper, you're like, wow. And then look at the people that we get to be around. I mean, I've built some great relationships with all of you all. And also like today we needed Brent to jump in and help us on something. He was like, I'm in. He told us exactly how it was going to happen. We were like, cool. And I wasn't sure because it was going to take him having to travel somewhere to do it. So having the people willing to help us, they've helped me, and it's an honor to be in this group. And my business partner, Craig, could not do it without him, or Kelly, or Amy, like people that are, sometimes you don't see them, but they're definitely there supporting. I couldn't do what I'm doing. So I just want to give a big shout out to my whole team. Firstly, Craig, my business partner, and Amy, who's our transaction coordinator, and Kelly, who puts this together for us and makes it happen. I mean, that's how we all do so well. So
agree 100%. So Chris, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm not originally from Maryland, but I left college and I needed a job, so I went over to Lowe's Home Improvement and got a job an hour. I'll never forget. I think I was making $7.35 an hour starting out, and they said there was opportunities there, so I worked my way up all the way up in about 4 years up to store manager, and I ran a $65 million store with 250 employees for 2.5 years. But with that, I had to move to Maryland. They said on a Thursday, they said, we need you there Monday. So I stayed in a hotel for 2 months, and then everything from there for 2.5 years, I did that. And I decided I wanted to get out of retail, which is a very exhausting business, but rewarding at the same time. I think everyone should have to do it. Then you wouldn't act the way that some people would do in retail environments if they actually had to experience the other side of it. But that taught me true customer service. I mean, you can't do it without the people purchasing from the store. I mean, we had a lot of things going on, special orders to install, sales to deliveries. It was all wrapped up in one store. And I was 28 years old, managing people from anywhere from age 18 to 65. So that was a young age to have that responsibility. And eventually I just got burned out of that. And I said, I'd like to stay in housing. So real estate sounded like a natural transition. So I talked to a friend of mine, the broker of the company I just left, and he was a friend, and he said, well, you can come work here. I don't know why you would leave the job you're in, because he knew what I was making and the benefits. And he said, what do you have to make this year? And I think he threw out some number. I threw out a number, and he said, well, you should be able to make that, no problem. And the rest was history. I started that first year, very humble, learned from a lot of people. I used to look up to, I know Jim Stevens he was younger than I was, and he had been in the business for a little bit. So I used to see him everywhere in my area. And I always thought, like, how does he do it? And maybe if I put in some effort and, run a business. And I ran it like a business. That's the one thing I think a lot of people don't do. You have to run this job as a business. If you just run it, sell, and hope you have enough to pay the bills, you're never going to get anywhere. So you have to run it like I ran it just like a business. I was running at Lowe's. So, and now I plan on I plan on getting my daughter incorporated into it. She's 16. So I'm thinking next year, maybe I'll have her come in and intern and do some stuff in the office with me. So she's already done some stuff. When I flipped houses, she would come and, help me with some of the tasks that were not dangerous.
She's starting late. She's starting at 16, where John's son started at 3. Come on.
What a slacker. What a slacker.
Actually, I do have a picture of her putting a wall plate on a switch plate at age like 5, but the power was off. Right? It was
start them early.
Yeah.
So, all right. How about you, Jim? Let's get a little background on you. I've known you for quite a while as well. I mean, pretty much everybody on here has been nice to know over the last, I look at 15 years in the business and where we've gone and where we're at now. But, I think of you getting into business when you're 18, and I was like, holy shit, you're 18 years old. So, and, very mature for that age. So,
yeah. And I talk to a lot of young people, and that's the first thing I say. There's no way you're too young, because I was 18, and you can't be younger than that, to be licensed. So I actually, I went to a college that had real estate as a 4-credit elective. And while I was in that, I had a great teacher, Don Martin, who worked for Maryland Association of Realtors also. He's a great teacher. And while I was in that class, I said, this is for me. I said, there's no question that I'm not going to do this. So as soon as that was over, I got my license. I was 18, youngest one in the office. Pretty much maintained that position as the youngest person in the office for a long time. Now, finally, some people get in that are a little bit younger than me, but that's how you can be 38 and be celebrating your 20th anniversary in the business. So it's pretty neat. But I tell people that all the time. You're not too young. It doesn't matter if what industry you're from. it really doesn't matter what background. There's a lot of people that may not even realize that right now today they may be perfect for this industry, and age does not matter. So that's one good thing. Yeah, but excited to be here, obviously, and like we said on some of our individual calls, this is a group of people that we've known each other for a long time. We've done lots of deals together, and most of us have been at the same company at one point or another. And it doesn't get much more exciting than that. And talked to quite a few people the last few days, and they're excited about what we're doing too. So certainly did not go unnoticed.
Ripple effect.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, absolutely.
But I think it all comes back. Everybody sees. I keep going back to the iceberg. I have a big picture of one in my office, and it says success at the top, but it's all the layers of failure, work hard. I'm trying to think of all the things, but it also comes back to integrity. Do what you say you're going to do, and keep doing it. Because you couldn't be in this business at 18 and just say, "Hey, I'm going to go out and sell a bunch of houses," and it happened. You had to work at it, just like the rest of us. Every one of us came from we didn't come from a family that was already in the business and doing 100 transactions or whatever it was. We all had to start from scratch, and then quite a few of us will end up having kids. Like Chris was talking about his daughter, and we'll see what happens with John's son since he's still a little young, and so forth. But I think it's an interesting business, and you can do it at any age. I mean, I think of Billy Lambeck, that was 90-some years old, still had a real estate license. So as long as your mind's there, it's not a physical thing. It's just the negotiations and so forth. So, all right, Rob, how about you? Give us a little background on you.
Well, you brought up the subject of Hollywood Squares. I feel like I'm on American Idol. You know how when somebody gets up on stage and they hit it off big with their introduction, and the judges go, "Man, I got goosebumps." Well, I got goosebumps sitting here looking at this group of people here, man. It's just awesome to be able to see all of us on the screen at one time and know what's coming, man. It's be a great energy and a great opportunity for all of us. So anyway, as far as the background goes, I remember I worked at T. Rowe Price back in 1991, and then in 94 I took a job delivering newspapers in Federal Hill, and I was a professional newspaper guy, and that was at the time when the transition of Federal Hill was going on. And I just remember parking my truck one day at Light and Heat Street, and more houses were boarded up than not boarded up. And I was delivering these papers every day. And then I started to see the transition of these houses going from being boarded up to repointed brick and new windows and new doors. And I saw these real estate signs coming out on people's railings. And I'm like, this is pretty interesting, watching this transformation of Federal Hill. And then my wife got pregnant with our second child, and she wanted to go back to work. I'm like, you stay home. I'll go get my real estate license. So I went and got my real estate license, and my goal was funny. My goal was to make what she was supposed to make that year, and her salary was supposed to be like $42,000 that year. And so my goal was to make $42,000, and I made $41,000 my first year in the real estate business. And it was cool, and I just saw what could be done here. And I won't tell you, or maybe I will tell you, only netted 1,000 because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. You had to spend money to make money.
But that's the truth, isn't it? Like, it's not easy. You work really hard, and you don't net a lot. Sometimes that's what's so great about getting around you guys. You can share how not to make those mistakes.
Oh yeah, so getting into the business and being able to serve people and clients at a higher level and a deeper level, and this business is relationships, and it's exciting to see how things have grown. And that was, in 2001 when I got my license, and I just love serving our clients. I love working with people like you guys and ladies, Shelly, and it's just been an awesome journey to watch this this career go. And you're right; it is a struggle at times, but there's a lot of joy you can get when you help a 23-year-old buy his first house, or you help an elderly person move into a retirement community, and so it's just I really enjoy the journey. So I'm looking forward to spending time with you guys.
Yeah, I think changes in life is how we help people the most. It's always either they're buying or selling for a reason, but it's changes in their life, not ours. And a lot of time agents get in the business and think it's all about them, and it's nothing about us. It's always about the client. So the better we serve from the heart and do what's best for them. And I think that with all of us, we're all that hungry, humble, and smart. That what are we doing best for the client? And it's always take care of them, provide more than they expect. You do these little extra things, and provide that high level of service. Check in on them on a regular basis. Not no news is good news. Not in this business. There's not. There's too many things that can go wrong, and there's too many fires that come up, so that you got to put out. But I think customer experience, every one of us, on this call, all six of us are all about taking care of the client. And I know that we didn't talk about it real in depth over, and I think that, you know, EXP gives us another couple avenues, especially now we're working all under on one umbrella. You know, it's one EXP, not, you know, different franchises and so forth. So we're able to share information within the same brokerage, which is super helpful, especially with limited inventory and buyers and so forth. So how do we take some of the frustration out for our sellers and so forth? But also providing that high level of service. I mean, that's what gets us the referrals. And every one of us on this call works by referrals. You know,
That's right.
65% of my team business is repeat and referral. So, and I know, you know, a lot of you guys are 80 plus, so 80% plus. But if we do the right thing for them, not anything about us, we just have to provide the expertise and the service and take care of them. Amazing what comes out of it. And I think, you know, going back to our backgrounds, every one of us we weren't handed that silver spoon and say, hey, you don't have to work. Every one of us had to work our asses off and try to figure out how to achieve and take care of our families. You know, I was talking to my sister's here from Vermont. We're in Florida, and I haven't seen her in a couple of years since my dad passed. And we were talking today. We were out on a seashell tour, and she's like, you know, I'm proud of you. I said, well, the thing is, it's not what one thing that we did. It is all the things that we've done, like the 2010 to 2012, 13, when it was really hard times of, you know, there wasn't a lot of houses selling, you're still spending and you're trying to grow your team and all this other, you take all your money from your 401 to keep everything else going. You know, people don't see all that. They just say like, oh, you're successful here. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know all the heartaches and the 90-hour weeks that I worked for 3 years, you know, much less the 70 hours for the six years before that. Every one of us works hard and really but we have to do that to provide that high level of service. You know,
Right.
as you expand, every one of us has grown a team. And the thing with the team is that gives us more leverage to help more people, right? I mean, we don't do it just for ourselves. It's not like, oh, I just want to grow a team.
Right.
As we do more business, we need more people that are taking care of the client to provide that high level of service. And I think that EXP gives us the leverage of we meet more people because we're having more conversations, plus a natural attraction to EXP. So, you know, new agents wanting to get into the business, don't go on your own. You know, we talked about that in our office. Like, you don't want to go on your own. You're going to struggle. It is 87% don't make it through the first year. Why wouldn't you want to join a team that, you know, hey, when Rob said, hey, I netted $1,000 that first year, so many agents judge by their bank balance. I mean, I do business coaching. There's so many times they're looking at it and like, all right, I said, how much did you make last month? Well, I got about this much in the bank. I'm like, all right, so you're judging by the bank account, never looking at a profit and loss. You need to know what you're spending to make sure that you're profitable. Versus somebody coming to our team, they take a split. Yeah, they're getting on a split, but they don't have the headaches, the frustration. They don't have to worry about finding the right people for the team. They don't have to worry about finding the business for them to take on. So that's a great thing with teams, right? I mean, I think that's why every one of us would everybody agree. I'm doing all the talking, but would everybody agree that, you know, that's why we have a team?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to live in our best spot. Like if you're good at something, like with my partner and I, he's good at some things that I'm not good at and vice versa. And when you can kind of partner together, and you guys aren't really a partnership, just to be clear, you guys have your own individual businesses. But what the cool thing is now you guys are working together and like, okay, how much further can we go with our teams and our personal businesses together? You know, but everyone has their strengths. And I mean, this group of guys, I mean, there's lots of girls in there too. I saw Jen Fitz, she popped in there. There's lots of us girls in there. So I want to give the girls a shout out. But we're all like working together and we all get to be a part of this and run together. And it's more fun this is a lonely business when you're by yourself. That's all I can say. It's not something
only at the top to say.
I know for me that this right here is the reason. I mean, we all had businesses that, you know, to some level of success, some more than others. We're not in Florida half the year like our friend, you know,
I'm not
down
there
here,
half the year yet.
Well, half, two-thirds. But we you know, but for me, it wasn't just a little more money. It wasn't anything like that. It was a chance to be in the room with these people because I respect everybody in this room, and I want to help build an office that brings more people like that into it. And that was the deal for me. I could have stayed where I was. I could have gone to many places, but I wouldn't have had this group of guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen to work with. And that was the thing for me, because working by referral and focusing on my people, that's what the whole room and so many agents do. So that's what I'm excited about growing and being independent, but still being part of this. I've heard a lot of people say this is Lee's office. It's not Lee's office. It's not. I love you, Lee, but you have no say in my business.
Exactly.
I'm going to misrun my business. I'm going to misrun my business.
Right.
Being five separate entities, but having that synergy and that love for ourselves and our clients is what makes the difference. And anybody who wants to join that is going to want to be doing the same thing we are, and that's what I'm looking forward to, is finding more people like that to bounce things off of and learn from and teach and learn from. Like having Rob's a master teacher. Just being in the same room is an honor. Same with Chris and Lee and Jim and Shelly. You're not a few states away, but thanks to Zoom, you're in the room too.
But thank God for Zoom. You did so much teaching at your last brokerage. I mean, think of like all the give back that you've done over the years. So don't discount yourself in there either, because you've done so much. And I think that's what naturally attracted all of us together, is we're all like-minded, and that's what we're looking for as well. It's like, all right, the like-mindedness. And then the more you surround yourself with that five, it's going to be more than five people for us, but you could become that average of who you spend the most time with. So if we can all level up, then what?
Right. Yeah. That's the power of this. That's the power of this, I feel like, for us and our clients, more importantly.
Yeah, I mean, like you talked about it earlier, Lee, about the whole team concept, and people who aren't a part of teams and are new to the business. Why would you join a team? And then the synergy between us. So you're gonna have the synergy between us is our own teams talking to each other. We're going to talk to each other and brainstorm. And it's going to be how do we better run teams? How do we better serve our clients? And how is this whole EXP model going to better benefit the clients? And just in the synergy that we bring together, we're all going to, like you said, level up to higher level service for each other, for our teams, and for the clients. And it's just, look, we're all, I know we're working our rear ends off, but we're all here. I mean, we're all smiling, and this isn't a show. This is real. And I think every one of us is excited to be amongst each other and learn and grow and be better for each other and our clients. I just think it's an awesome opportunity.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, this is really unique. So go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, you talk about the right people at the right place at the right time. When you think about how quickly this came together too, that's the other thing. Chris and I spoke early, and Lee, obviously, and next thing you know, when I talked to John and Rob, obviously, this thing got off the ground quicker than you can ever imagine. And that just solidifies, that it's the right people, the right place at the right time. And there's other people that are excited about what we're doing too. And, hopefully we can help them as well and help them understand the model and what we have to offer. So,
yeah, I think this is the first model we've seen that gives opportunity for everybody to help others. Because otherwise it's more of the broker or just a team leader and not so much the other teams that are all working together. But here's a model that gives you opportunity to pull others up and to push sometimes when people need to be pushed. And like sometimes we need to hear, like John mentioned before, I'm not running this business, but if I see something that, like, I'm going to have a conversation with him periodically and say, why are you doing that? Because you need somebody. We need that nudging. Like, what are you doing? Like, open your eyes. We all do it. So, people in glass houses don't throw stones. I'm never going to, I make my mistakes. I need somebody nudging me. I have two business coaches. As much help as I can get, but I think the more we surround ourselves with that smart person that's, like, hey, I'm hungry, I'm humble, and I want to work my ass off to achieve more for my family. Because ultimately, every one of us comes back to our families. I mean, what else are you doing it for?
That's right. It has to be good for our families. I was going to say this morning, it's funny, like getting off of like the real estate piece of this, but this morning I had a conversation with Lee, and he probably doesn't even realize how impactful this was. But he asked me a question because I've made a commitment about, I think it was March 1st, about, we're doing the 70-day challenge with our group, our impact group, because we have a group that we all like pour into. And I made a commitment. He's like, hey, how's your working out going? And he wasn't being mean. He was just asking me the question because he cares. And, having that accountability as someone that you respect, say, hey, how's it going? I'm like, I've been eating really well, but I haven't been working out the way I'm supposed to, like the way I committed to doing, because that's a challenge for me. Like John, I have a goal of, I want to get to a certain size. I want to be the best Shelly I can be for my family, for myself, and for our group. And so I have a commitment. So I've been doing better with the food, but working out, I've been slacking on. I'm going to be honest. So it was interesting because that's the kind of partnerships I want, is people that go, hey, how's your wife doing? How's your husband doing? How's your kids? Like, is this making a difference in your world? How's your team doing? Is your team better? Like, are you guys, they getting some more free time out of this too? And it was interesting when he asked me that this morning. He was like, what about that 7-day challenge? Don't forget about that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I'm like, that's when, after I get off this call, Kevin and I are going for a walk on the beach, and so it's just kind of makes you remember like those things when you have people that are around you who care, who think like you do. I mean, it's kind of silly, but it may sound silly, but it's important to me.
No.
It's not silly.
Whoops.
The same thing happened to me. The 70-day challenge. Someone randomly asked me. I'm not even sure who it was. They asked me how many note cards I'd written, because that was one of my goals, was to write 10 note cards a week to my clients. And they asked me how many I wrote, and I said, not enough. And so I took the notes home with me last night because someone asked me and called me out on it. And when I go to the gym every morning, sometimes I don't want to get up. I don't want to go, but I know that I put that in my challenge, and I don't like to lose. That's one thing I don't like to do. So that's in the back of my mind every day when I go. And the reach that we have with this company is amazing to me. Like I've talked to people from all over the place that work for EXP, and no one's ever been, everyone's always wanted to help me. They've never said like, we can't help you, or we're not going to give you the answer to that question. I just think that power is great for our clients. If we need something, and like they're moving to another state, the referral network is really great. We know that the people are good agents, and we don't have to worry about trying to look them up and see how great they are. So I think that reach for our clients is huge. I mean, I think there's so many things that we will be able to do better for our clients with this business.
But the other thing with the group, I think of Burl, my one business coach. He says accountability is love. You're not going to let your kid go run out in the street, right? So you're always hold them accountable to not go run out in the street or whatever. Same thing with us. It's like we need to call each other out on shit. If like you said you're going to do something, are you doing it? Just checking in. Like I wasn't trying to be nasty to Shelly at all. And as I'm talking to her, she's like, "You do more things on the phone than I don't know what." Because I'm talking to her as I'm on the elliptical, then I'm like running at 8 miles an hour or so, and I was like, "Have you been to the gym?"
Right. Show off.
Right. But I was like, "All right."
It was nice because like a lot of people are uncomfortable to call you out on what you promised yourself, and it wasn't like you were doing it. You like told me your story, your struggle. You like shared with me like this is why, like it's about being so we can live a long time and enjoy all this hard work we put in. So. There's a lot of things. Health, family health, and our business. Those are three important pieces. And if we're all focused on that, and the agents that come be a part of this with us, like they don't have to be on your physical team to be a part of EXP. They can be an individual agent and enjoy the same benefits that we as team members all benefit from. So a $2 million producer who's killing it, but they're like, how do I get the $4 million? Well, we're going to tell you. You don't have to be like on the team or Chris Drewer's team. You can be a part of this group, and we're going to show you and that iceberg. We're going to save you so much time of that struggle of like, don't do that. Like let's not do that piece because we screwed up. Like how don't spend that money on that piece because there's a lot of temptation to like make things easier through spending money in this business, and it's not always the solution.
For sure.
If I can jump in there real quick, you talk about accountability. I heard a great line just this week. I'll give Darren Hardy another plug. And he said a lot of times we talk about accountable. And instead of maybe holding each other accountable, which we'll do, but we can hold each other capable.
Yeah.
And what's Lee capable of doing? Where are you at right now? What are you capable of doing? Jim Stevens, what are you capable of doing? And if John Kantorski, if you're here, I'm gonna hold you capable of going to another level. And Chris the same. So, we hold each other capable of each other, man. It's gonna be awesome. So I just heard that line. I had to share that.
That's
a
good.
good saying. A lot we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't think 5 years down the road of where we're at. When I started working out with my trainer 6 years ago now, I was way out. I was 35, 40 pounds overweight, and I was, eating like crap. I was stopping at McDonald's. And then I knew I needed to get myself in shape. But then my cousin, 48, 49 years old, super healthy. He was like Rob's size, like thin, muscular, in shape. And he was getting ready to get married that weekend. His son comes home from the Marines. In a contracting business, he went in his trailer to get something out, had a heart attack and died. So his son that came back for his wedding ended up going to his funeral.
Jeez.
And ever since that, I was like, all right, I am taking care of myself because you just don't know what's going to happen. And then I make sure, my doctor said, change your lifestyle. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, well, you got to eat better. You got to start working out, pay attention to everything you put in your mouth. And then when you do, my blood count, my blood works better than ever. I don't have high blood pressure anymore. I don't have high cholesterol. But I was focused on, I don't want to end up like my cousin, like any of us. And we all have family members that go through stuff. But just like, when you get on an airplane, they say, put your mask on before you put your child's mask on if the plane's going down. if we don't take care of ourselves first, we can't help our family, much less our customers and all the other stuff. So it always comes back to that health as well as wealth and financial and family and everything else. So we need to take care of ourselves more than anything else. And it's meant, look at this last year with coronavirus, the mental stress out there of what people are going through. And so many people have been home locked in the house for a year. So, you don't know what everybody else has gone through until you start having conversations and see how you can help.
I'm down for bringing sled. I got sleds I can bring in. We can push some weights in the parking lot. I'm down for that.
Oh my God.
We're going to get Jim started in all this.
I got the vegetable garden at home. I'll bring in all the vegetables while you help me.
I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
That's awesome. Chris is the workout guy. He's good.
Yeah, I've let that lapse though. This past year hasn't been as good as I wanted to. Well, for one, going to the gym was tougher, and we were working out in masks at a high level intensity. So that didn't make it more as fun to go to. But you got to do what you got to do. You got to make it work whatever way you can. I reduced the amount of days I've been going, but I'm trying to get right back into it now. So I've really increased it. But it's tough though. It's tough to do. It makes it harder and harder to do something that you should be doing when there's all these obstacles. But that's what we do.
You know what's interesting? I remember with all of you when we've had our conversations, we'd take a look at the tools available to the agents inside of EXP, because it's hard to tell somebody what they are. But we would do a live Zoom and we'd walk in there, and how efficient it is. Speaking of COVID, and it's just how efficient it is, and how we're really talking to real people and they're ready to help us. Like James Haynes and Lisa Lowe, and the people in the ops department for each of our states. Like in my state, North Carolina, I've got great people in there too. Super impressive, high level people that are making sure our contracts are done right. They're there to support us if we have a question. Everything is there, just like you have a normal office. It's just that you're able to do it a little bit more efficiently.
Yep.
I had somebody else say, "What about the virtual? The virtual's so weird, or they, so you're not used to being that way." But we've done so many Zoom calls, right? I mean, it's between more, we're all in different places right now. You're in Puerto Rico, I'm in Florida, and the rest of you guys are in Maryland right now. But you can do so much without having to be there. You can communicate very effectively, more so than ever. And I think that's the real estate commission number one complaint that they get is communication. So right. The better that we all communicate with our clients, with each other, and that gets underlooked. To any of you agents that are watching this, when you send an offer, call the agent, please. Call the listing agent. Every one of you, I'll get 8 to 10 offers on a property, and I may get 2 phone calls if I'm lucky, so 20%. So make a phone call to the listing agent. I'm just trying to give you some small tips to help get your offer accepted. I'm not telling you to talk about a whole lot, but at least give an overview, or hey, my people are flexible. They can do a rent back. They would do as is, or whatever it may be. Just it comes back to these kind of conversations that lead us into more sales, which again makes our clients happy because we're getting the sale that either selling their house or finding a buyer getting accepted. But having conversation, communicate. Don't send a text. Don't send an email. Great, you want to email the offer over, but communicate. Pick up the damn phone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm so big on that. I talk to my team all the time because we get stuck in this virtual high-tech world, and it doesn't even just have to be the contract, for God's sake. Even if I'm sending an addendum, or if I'm have whatever kind of communication I want, send it and follow it up with a phone call.
Yeah, phone call for everything.
It's so vital, and I think it comes across the other end as somebody that cares. They just not haphazardly sending something and hope they get it. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at my phone 24/7. So I'd rather have a phone call. Send the addendum and make a phone call, make my phone ring. So I think that's a good tip. Thanks for sharing.
We all have busy lives, but at the same time, it only takes a minute to pick it up. Everybody thinks this thing weighs 800 pounds, and it's really not. It's probably a pound and a half. So it's a good workout. Keep listening. So, right, exactly. How about anybody else anything that we didn't cover? I mean, what I mainly wanted to hear is we have such a good group of people. I mean, Shelly's helped, bring the EXP platform to us and look at it. But I think every one of us has a different strength. Same thing when we hire people for our team. We look at who's getting the right people on the bus, but also in the right seat of the bus. And each one of us has strengths and weaknesses. And I think there's a lot of counterbalances there as well. So I just wanted to hear every one of us has struggled to get where we're at. It's not like, oh, we're just all of a sudden super successful. going back to Rob, where, hey, I want to make 41,000, but really netted 1,000 by the time I'm said and done. So many people get in that business, and then they run on that hamster wheel of life, and they don't even know what they're making. I've talked to people like, oh, well, I'm making 200,000. I'm like, all right, but did you take your business expenses out of that? What do you net? What do you net? And they're like, oh, what'd you pay tax on? Oh, 60 grand. I'm like, okay, well, that's what you made, not 200.
Right.
Yeah, but everybody focuses on the top line. The top line's nice and sexy, but they don't look at, like, what do you pay your bills off of? And that's the most important thing out of all this. Like, numbers are nice and shiny and all that, and the crystals or whatever else that you get, the plaques, fantastic. But at the same time, do the right thing. Take care of the client, and the client then takes care of you by doing more and more business and sending you more and more referrals, and all of a sudden your net's so much higher.
Hey, if I could jump in real quick, if we're going to wrap this up here soon. One thing I don't think we hit hard enough, if at all, is, we talked about real estate, we talked a bit about the business, we talked about helping clients, and we talked about thinking in the business at a higher level. But there's another thing here, that the whole personal growth aspect that we all share, that kindred spirit there. And I tell people all the time, we get in this business, hey, I'm 30% realtor and 70% psychologist. And I'm not a doctor per se, but the fact of the matter is, when we start talking to each other and synergizing with each other about this journey, and it is a journey, it's not a job, it's a journey, and how can we grow mentally and personally outside of the business, that it'll circle back into the business. How we treat our kids, how we live our lives, whether it's spiritually, financially, personally, what are some of our personal goals that we can help each other achieve and hold each other capable of. And that doesn't have anything to do with business, but it's all connected. It's just all connected.
Leadership.
And I think we're going to help each other and others, the teammates and other agents, whether or not on their team or not. Anybody that's connected with us, we're going to help them. And at least I know I'll be out there, more than happy to coach people up that way.
But the other thing comes back to our backgrounds. Like, think how many conferences we've all gone to. Think how many books we've all read, how many Audible, how many podcasts, how many YouTube, how many different videos that we watch, and we continue to watch. It's like, it's not that we stopped anytime. We don't plan on stopping tomorrow. How many did you watch this week? I was talking to my wife about something. I was like, on that one video yesterday, she's like, you were like 5 different videos. I was like, no, I was, one that we really watched, and the other ones were some Audible and stuff. But it's funny because she's like, you're always listening to something. I'm like, yeah, we all have to work harder on ourselves than we do on our job, right? It's like, so the harder we work and make ourselves better, the more attractive we are to attract other people to us, to work with us, whether it be on our team or be with an EXP, because you want to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yep, 100%. One thing I don't think we really hit very well, you guys did something a little unique too. We haven't talked about that. You guys all got some awesome space, I believe, in White Marsh. And I just got to see a video tour of it. It was pretty cool. I think it was so fun to watch the energy in that. It was all of you guys together walking through. I think Lee had me on FaceTime. Zoom. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, the energy when you guys all got together, it was like so fun. And like when we do our group text or whatever, I have a ball. That's more fun. But when we do that FaceTime, I mean, it's a beautiful spot. And any agent who wants to be, like you guys have it available to agents that are like-minded like yourselves can be a part of that with you. We share a little bit about that. John, you want to talk about it?
Oh no, I'm excited to have that space. I mean, there's space there for growth and more people to come over, and having that shared space there. And we've already been in there. I went there the first day we could move in, and just seeing everybody show up, and I'm really looking forward to using that space for training and education, and just walking down the hall and there's Jim and can talk about something, or Rob or Chris and Lee being around to bounce ideas off of and ask questions about, because you're always learning in this business. If you're not learning, then if you're not growing, then you're dying. So having the energy there, and everybody's so willing to chat and talk and share their experience, that's what I'm looking forward to, the give and take we'll have there.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest misconception when I've heard the last couple of weeks when I've talked to people is we hear that EXPs, you don't have an office, it's virtual. Well, we solved that problem here with the office that we have. And you don't have to have an office, but being in our office, I think, is going to put everyone up to another level in business and personal growth, like you said. So that yeah, the corporate office isn't there, but that's only the good thing about that is there's more revenue to share. So, we chose to establish this office just because we work better around other successful people. So,
Awesome.
Jim, yeah, thank you for heading us on too. Because Jim took on like trying to help find the space. Because I kept I'd have conversation with different ones. Like, wait a minute, this one needs one. This one, like, we got all these people that want space. So let's see what we can find. So thanks for spearheading that and taking it on.
A lot of these, medium and larger teams, they really can't go full virtual. That wouldn't be possible for us. We're used to going to an office. So the virtual is good. And for solo producers, they're going to love it. But for us, to have the physical space, this is a branch office, obviously, that works out well. But then we gain something, beyond physical space. We have the synergy and everything that we created because of who is here. Not just that the physical building is here, but that because of who is here and who will be here because of this space also. So it serves a couple of different purposes, but it's worked out well so far.
And there's also a Jersey Mike's across the street, so that's really
that's not on your diet.
Ideal.
It's not on your list.
No, it's not. It's not. They have a salad. They have a great salad. They have a great
One cheat day.
Yeah, one cheat day we all go to Jersey Mike's.
That's beautiful.
Well, I think that this is the first that I know of with EXP that somebody joined and like put an office like this together. So I'm excited for all of this. Just to be working together. I think the camaraderie alone. There's so many, like each one of you worked with in the past, but then like, all right, how do we work together even more? So here, this gives us much more opportunity to be like brothers and all work together. Brothers that get along. We're trying to wrestle and beat each other up. So much less there's plenty of sisters welcome. If somebody said, oh, what about the women? Like, it just happened to be the five of us so far. So that was the conversations we had.
Yeah, but
I just think that
Shelly's the matriarch.
Yeah, there you are. Exactly.
I'm the stepsister.
The real boss. The real boss.
Right.
If it weren't for Shelly, none of us would be here. So,
Well, they say before, behind every successful man's a more successful woman. So it's like, right.
Very good.
Anything else that we didn't cover?
Shelly's hungry, humble, and smart. There you go.
Oh, thank you. It's fun. We're having fun. I'm having the best time of my life. I mean, talk about like just the other. What they don't get to see is all the other people that are amazing with us too. I mean, it's not just all of us; it's so many other great people. And we have an event. We have some events coming up. The one in Cabo, which is coming up. We're all going to be there, and then we've got one in Scottsdale. It's coming up. So there we have some actual. Yeah, Dallas, we're with Tony Robbins, and that's just our group that our organization we're part of is putting these events on, and we're going to be doing one I think in another state too. We got confirmation on that today, and we're just constantly looking to grow and learn together. And if anyone wants to be a part of that growth together, by the way, I'm from Maryland, so I've lived there a good chunk of my life, so I love Maryland people. They're all the time.
Still here.
Yeah, I have my mom and my sister there still. My dad passed, but yeah. So yeah, I'm a Maryland person. But if you guys talk to these guys, because they'll answer your question. If you need a one-on-one, something like you just want some private time to ask them questions, there's no pressure. It's not like, oh, you need to join there. No one's going to pressure you. These conversations have just organically happened, and you're going to be joining a great group that are going to be supportive and help you build your business to a higher level. And that's the big goal, is like sell more real estate, have a great family life, just make our lives better all the way around.
Yeah, it's all about relationships. There's so many of us that had, like dealings with different agents that we're all friends with. So there's ones, I've got my fair share of calls. I know each one of you have. It's all about relationships more than anything else. And we're not one like, oh, you need to see this. You got to watch this. This is the best thing since sliced bread. It's not for, it's for, who wants to open their eyes and see it. There's so much opportunity. I mean, it gives you, stock, revenue, and, being able to buy stock at a discount for a 401k for us as agents, where so many of us don't save. It's kind of like when Rob, I keep hitting back to that, Rob, but there was so much value in what you said of, hey, I made 41,000, but really only netted 1,000. Same thing with people, like, all right, they make whatever they're making, they spend the majority of the time, rather than if they took 5% off the top that they didn't see and they invested in stock at a 10% discount, all of a sudden 2, 3, 5 years later, all of a sudden they got, hundreds of thousands of dollars in stock. I was talking to Dave Canord on one, and he said, one agent, she wasn't really the happiest, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden she never looked in her stock account. And all of a sudden she looked at her stock. She had $1 million in stock.
You know it.
Like, holy crap, she didn't even know she had like what she had. Like, all right, that was a good surprise. Now she's pretty happy. So like, yeah, that tends to change things. So just so much opportunity. And like I said, it depends on if you see it or not, but reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions. Everybody, private message who it is that you have relationships with, and we'll be happy to answer them. So.
And like
don't forget about the health insurance too. That was something that I didn't even consider. And then today I actually had a Zoom meeting with the health insurance company, and it's going to save me $300 a month, which is $3,600 a year, which is more than Rob made his first year.
Morning netted.
That's great.
Rob,
everybody's going to remember that out of the conversation there, Rob.
I'll never remember. Rob only made $1,000 last year.
Right. Well, think of everybody focuses on top line, and that's what's sexy to them, but it really needs to be focused on the bottom line. Everybody run a business like a business. If you're a real estate agent, you are in business for yourself. You look at a profit and loss statement, have somebody help you with it. That's something we coach on. We help our agents with, and it's just the more you look at the bottom line, don't just judge by your bank balance. And that's what 90% do.
Because
I was there. I did it. I was one of them. I did it for years. And then you're chasing taxes. Like, oh shit, I got to pay these taxes. Oh my God. Shocker. So.
Yeah. Because they're looking at their bank account, they're really looking at next month or next 2 months' money. They're not really looking at the money that money's gone because they've spent it all, and they're just looking at, I've got this coming and that coming, and these big checks come in, but then they're not looking where they can actually end up upside down if they're not careful. They don't really realize it, and they got to go back and pay taxes or do whatever they didn't save for. But no, it's a great point. It's really valid. And the fact that you guys will train on it is awesome, because think about how many people could get ahead faster, and if they could just put a little bit of money aside. I mean, I've got a 25-year-old cousin, and he's putting 10% of his income away right now. I wish someone had told me to do that when I was 25. 10%.
I wish my dad would have told me that. Yeah.
I wish
I think with Josh.
Yeah, but that's
with Josh.
We can help the younger ages, older ages who's not even there yet. We can coach them along in any aspect of their lives. So that's good.
I think especially the young ones. I had a conversation with one the other day, and it's just getting them to realize it's always trying to figure out who to trust. I think it always comes back to who is it that you trust and the trust factor. But getting them to open their eyes and realize that depending on when they're super young, it's getting them to understand what's reality rather than some of the stuff that you hear. You hear inflated numbers out there rather than hey, these are the steps that you need to take. This is the blueprint. It's great to create a business plan, but also how do you get there? And then what are you saving along the way rather than all of a sudden it's year end and you got all these problems besides taxes. And I was there. I was one. I had many agents I coached that were making $1 million plus GCI, and then they weren't paying taxes, or they weren't paying enough taxes, and all of a sudden there's holy crap. So if we can help people like that get ahead of it, the better off you are too. Because it's always the pleasure and pain. We need to help hit the pain points before you get there. If we can tell you it's business coaching around it rather than taking the learning curve out. So, and I think that's what every one of us on this call has so much experience from, that is how do you help the others.
Yep. It's fun. It's fun. It's like I take so much pleasure in talking to the 20-something-year-olds. I'm not just in real estate, but just in life, because I feel like I don't have children. So I look back at my life and I'm like, if I just would have known that, maybe they might pay attention to me because I'm not actually their mom. Maybe they might actually listen to something I'm sharing with them. It's I love that, because you can save them. It gives you a lot of joy when you can help someone get ahead in life faster than you did.
Yeah, I think real estate, I think the first year it's 87% turnover, and within 5 years it's 83%. So I was listening to a book the other day, and they were talking about starfishes on the beach. And they said this woman was going out, and there's all these starfish that were washed up on shore. So she was taking them and throwing them back in the ocean. And the one guy said, well, why are you doing that? And he's like, there's so many of them, it's not making a difference. She's like, well, I made a difference in this one, and I made a difference in this one. So making differences in people's lives that we can touch. That's huge to me. And that's what I've gotten so much fulfillment in where I'm at in my career, of helping others. So helping my team, and then helping agents see kind of the forest through the trees, and, help you get through it. And let's take some of these pain points. I already went through all these bumps in the road, and these cost me a lot of money or a lot of heartache and a lot of time to get through. Let's get you to the other side and making more money and be able to provide for your family. Good show.
And Lee, I was just going to say, I don't think we really heard your backstory, and I'd love for you to share a little bit if you're open to it, because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. So I started working with my dad when I was 8 years old. After school, summers and weekends, he had a used car lot, small used car lot in Essex, and I love my dad to death, so I was always there with him. And then when I could see he worked a lot, so how would I spend time with him was going to work with him. So I started out unlocking and locking all the cars in the morning. I'd pick up all the trash, and then I got a little bit older, and I would go wait on people. I'd wash cars, detail cars, but constantly went out and waited on cars. But I also had memorized every car on the car lot, so I could go out and talk like how many miles, what kind of engine it was, what kind of car it was, what model, and all that. And here I'm 8 to 10 years old, like, wow. And then I started running in the car lot when I was 18. He ran another business, and people would come in, and I'm thinking of Jim because I was 18, and people wanted to know who the boss was. And I'm like, that's me. Anything I can help you? And then they would think, I didn't know anything until I started talking to them. And then they were like, wow, you're really knowledgeable and know what you're talking about. But I think it's always, being professional and taking the time and putting the work in. So my dad was always one to make, work ethic. So work really, I probably work way too hard and not smart enough. Sometimes I've gotten smarter through the years. But then, so I worked with him till I was 22. Then he retired. I went to work for Norris Ford, which they bought Acura Nissan store. So I was with them for just under 10 years. And it pushed me out of there because, I wanted a $5,000 a month bump because I took their profit from up about 240,000 on a monthly basis. And I said, I just want $5,000 extra. And they said, well, we'd have to look at it and see if that made sense or not. Like, okay. Somebody's not controlling the numbers properly. So I had bought, let me rewind, I bought some investment properties 5 years prior, kept them as rentals down at the stadium. I was thinking where Rob was saying where all the board ups were. So I was near the Austin Street. I was on Austin Street, a couple of them there. So 2005 came, which was really good. And this was all the stuff that was going on at the dealership where they didn't want to pay the extra money at the time. And I was driving an hour each way to work to Ellicott City, from Bel Air to Ellicott City every day, which was enough. And then, I was working nonstop, bell to bell. I was working 4 to 5 days a week, 9 to 9. So, and on the phone nonstop, high stress. And I just finally had enough. But, I sold one of my investment properties that we bought for like $30,000. We rehabbed it, put 70 in it, and it sold for 250. So we made about 150 grand minus commission. So I had like 6 months because I had a partner. So I had 6 months of reserves and said, all right, get my real estate license. I gave my notice Halloween of 05, got my license by December 28th, started January of 06. And I burned the bridges. I was like, burn the ships that, my wife doesn't work. I got 3 kids at home. My dad thought I was nuts because I had a good salary, car, demo, gas card, and like, you're going to quit and go to something you have no idea about. I'm like, I'll figure it out. They just pissed me off enough that, it's time to move on. And I still, like a lot of people there, I still have good relationships with our old GM and so forth. But I just knew it was time to move on. So I got into real estate, sold 36 homes my first year. And that was, I was thinking of Rob. So I think I grossed about 120 and I think I had $40,000. So I made about 80 grand, which I went backwards, of course. So you always got to go backwards before you can go forwards. And then the following year went up, and then it went from 36 homes to 46 to 64 to 79 to 92 to 148 to 204 to 270, 289, and then 289. I did 138 homes that year, 2013. I remember it was like yesterday. This was when I was working. I had to cash out my 401k 2010 to put all the money back in the business and make sure everybody was paid. So again, iceberg. I'm working like crazy to get above the waterline. Cashed it out. And, I had no money left, and just barely able to make my mortgage, but never late on my own mortgage payments and stuff. And I was like, man, this is hard. Worked till 2013. We did 289, did 138. So it was, again, 90 hours. And then the following year, I said I wanted to get down to 50 sales. I got down to about 72. We did 267, so we did slightly less. And then the following year, we went up to 336, and I did about 52. Last year we did 467 and I sold 22. So I see that I can help my team so much more now of giving back to them rather than me going on another listing appointment or, because I stopped working with buyers for years. It had to be a really close personal friend that I may do 1 or 2, but I didn't have the time. And plus it distracts focus. So I'd say if you work just one side of the business, work the listing side, especially the team leader, so you can give back to your team. Otherwise you don't have enough time to spend with them to train and let them hear what you're doing, how you're doing it, how you're talking to the psychology where Rob was talking about, because it's all psychology of what we're using. And it's not psychology we're using on them. It's psychology to help them figure out what they want and get what they want. So, but if you take care of the client, ultimately, no matter what, when you take care of the client, it all comes back. You end up with such a much better business. You enjoy the people you're working around. Culture is super important. So knowing core values, build core values. If you don't have them, my number one North Star is integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. Work like crazy. If you tell somebody you're going to call them at 5 o'clock, call them at 5 o'clock. If you don't have the answer they need, call them and tell them you don't have the answer that they need. You're going to get it tomorrow or whatever the timeline is. Set expectations. So that's my whole long backstory. So
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is your numbers.
I was just going to say that, he knows his numbers, doesn't he?
It's important because I think that Burl probably really instilled that in you as well. Numbers are everything. Yeah.
Yep. So I started back, Bob Corcoran, I started in 2010 coaching with him, and Burl and him had the business together, and then Burl went on his own. So it's so interesting of how different they were, but at the same thing, it always came back to numbers. And if we don't know where we were or where we are, how do we know that we're improving or falling back?
Right.
So you need to know where you're at as at least a status quo, and then start climbing from there, and then also building your business plan to really move forward the way you want to. And it's get that incremental growth. Going from here to here is really hard, but if you can go here, you can get there in a few years.
Yeah, that's
so it's
true.
not overnight. Not one of us on this call are overnight successes, right?
Nope.
See, John didn't lose 100 pounds overnight. To Rob didn't go from 1,000 to a couple 100,000 or more. It's you didn't go from that extreme to that extreme. It was hard work, and it's consistency and persistency. So no different than Shelly calling me. Hey, you need to look at this. You need to look at this. You need to look at this.
It was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, Tracy knew more about EXP than I did, I think. She was always in the car.
Hey, if I can make a shameless self plug here, for a little bit of a sales pitch there out there, like Lee mentioned about anybody come, give us any one of us a call that you have a relationship with. But I would tell you this: I'd say if anyone out there is interested and they want to make a call to any one of us and join this organization, I would tell you it's going to be better than you think. So
yeah.
Can you believe it took 57 minutes for that to happen? It took 57 minutes. That's a new record.
I thought we were going to have a banner with a link to Amazon on here.
That was the point. We forgot to do that piece.
Oh, no. Next time.
I'm not the tech guy, so I don't know how to do that. You guys can do that for me.
Where's your book at? Is your book with you?
It's in the car. It's in the car right now.
Damn it. So mine's on the seat of my car, and I don't have that here. So otherwise I'd grab it for you. So.
I hope you're not sitting on it.
No.
Keep it warm.
Chris is using his prop his computer up. So. So. I didn't mean it in a bad way. Oh man. Jim, do you have any final partings?
No, I just welcome anybody that has questions about it. Many of them have, but if anybody has questions about what we're doing or why we made the switch and they want to ask offline, please feel free to call any one of us. Be happy to talk to you. I know Shelly would join in the call and answer any questions. We're part of a line that goes way higher above just us that you see on the screen here. Yeah. Our network spans the entire country right now, and Shelly's part of a huge organization. She's been doing this for many years with EXP and brings a lot of knowledge to the table, and she's happy to share. That's one good thing. This doesn't end just at this level. It goes way beyond us, and there's a lot of people that are very influential with the company. They're part of our organization, and they're happy to help us. So, by all means, if you have a question about it, please reach out. We're happy to talk. So.
And Jim, thank you for all you've done to put this part together, and Lee and Shelly for the time you give to when we have somebody that has a question or something like that. You're willing to jump on a call with us. That's awesome. So we appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Chris, you have
Jim took a. No, I was thinking Jim was he put so much documentation and all the other stuff. So much appreciated. So for the office, it was a lot of work too.
Sure, no problem. It's all worth it.
Go time, John. It's go time.
Let's do it. Get back to work.
If you have anything you want to say before we head out, and you and Johnny, either of you?
I'm just glad to be here. I don't move around much. I was at my last company 17 years, and I plan to continue with this one until I retire. So
yeah, me too.
Let's do this.
John, what about you?
No, I'm excited to get going and keep it going and work with these guys and some more people and and have fun in the office and keep helping our people.
Awesome.
Sounds good. All right.
Thanks,
Well,
guys.
everybody have a great weekend.
Everyone enjoy.
Enjoy. Yep. Thank you,
Thanks,
Shelley.
Nicole.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.